Good morning, everyone. Today's about all sales strategies. So I've got something for you, Andrea. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Sorrel.
You heard of the saleswoman who sold a lot of freezers over the phone?
Sure.
Know how she sold them?
How did she do it?
Mostly cold calls.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay.
I love it. Yeah, Liz, we're always missing the last 2, 3, 4. Can you? Hello, Liz. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Atlanta. Good morning, Southeast. Good morning, East Coast. Good morning, West Coast. Good morning, Mountain Time. Good morning, wherever you are. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for moving your calendar and navigating through the webs of the social media world to land here. We know there is a billion announcements before you got here and you still chose to get here. So we appreciate you and we love you. It is not a small thing you're here, and it is not a small thing you woke up this morning. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Today we have a phenomenal conversation. Today we're going to diving into the world of mastering the strategies of selling. Unleash your business by mastering the strategies of selling. And we have a phenomenal human being who has truly developed multi-million-dollar businesses and been part of those teams. And she's going to share a little bit of her mastery and her secrets. But before we do that, we have a few questions to anchor ourselves. To be here and to be present. Stan the man, where are you?
Hey, Gio, I'm right here, man. Right here where I need to be. The only place I can be.
Right here. It's the only place you could be. Yeah. Thank you, Stan. Stacy, 2 questions for you, Stacy. What time is it? And one thing you're grateful for?
Well, the time is always the most important time, which is right here and right now. And what am I grateful for? I've repeated this. I'm going to say this again. I am grateful that I woke up perpendicular to the earth today.
Yes, not a small thing to wake up perpendicular to the earth. I love it. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you very much, Stacy. And Sorrel, last question for you, Sorrel. How are you?
Good morning, Gio. Good morning, everyone.
How are you, Sorrel?
I am the way I say I am. And this morning and for the rest of the day, I'm choosing to be phenomenal and generous.
I like that. You get to say who you are. Your emotions will follow your words. That's what they say. Thank you, Sorrel, for being here. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Great to see you back, Shiva. It's so great to see you, the erotic coach. I love that. I am never going to forget that. So I want to introduce, I'm really excited about having Jessie today. Jessie is, I'm a big fan of her. She has been a coach for me for a while, for a few times, and has made a profound difference in my production, has been a profound difference in the way I relate to life, in the way I relate to everything that matters to me. And so it's always an honor to have her back at the Daily Huddle. So Jessie, thank you for coming back.
Oh, I'm super excited to be here. It's so great to see all these lovely faces. Good morning, everybody.
Yes, yes. So I'm just going to say just a few things, a tip of the iceberg of your life about you, just to get us going. Jessie has helped over thousands of high-performance people from all walks of life and stress, purposelessness, and finally have fulfillment. With over 20 years of massive research in human development, certifications in heart intelligence, emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and shamanic teaching experience as an executive and corporate arena. Jessie helps clients gain freedom from constant self-doubt and judgment, annihilate the pain, and turn it into purpose and passion so that they can live with unshakable joy and fulfillment. This is precisely what happened to me. I met Jessie in a random phone call that she was assigned to me. And then all of a sudden I started speaking with Jessie, and I didn't have to say anything about my life or whatever I was dealing with, but I was really hiding a significant amount of stress and doubt. And in my conversations with her, it all turned around. At that very moment, my life started turning around, and it was not a small thing I was dealing with at the time. And then I said, oh my gosh, I need to become friends with this woman. This woman is unbelievable. And thank you for accepting the possibility of being a friend of yours, and now having you here at the Daily Huddle. Thank you, Jessie. Thank you. Thank you. So I want to say more, but I'm going to leave more time for you to get us started in this context, Jessie. What is, when Jessie Torres hears, someone who has helped businesses achieve 8-figure businesses, right, in sales, when you hear unleash your business by mastering the strategies of selling, where do you go? Where does your brain go? How do we do that?
Yeah, it's interesting because it says master the strategy of selling, and it's actually the opposite of that. I want you guys to master, first of all, who you are as a giving human being, and serving versus selling. I think that the buyer has definitely evolved. Nobody wants to be sold to. You ask a crowded room, what do you think of when you think of sales? And people say sleazy, slimy, pushy, pressure, and nobody likes that 4-letter word. And by the way, including me, like sales to me was that 4-letter word. I hated it. So, to now come around and really recognize a different approach, helping the buyer be served by whatever it is you have to offer, is a whole different mindset. And so it isn't about selling, it's about serving. Whatever it is you have, whatever it is you have to offer is a service to somebody in need. We start really getting our own belief systems around that, and we stop thinking ourselves as salespeople, and we see it as somebody who is enrolling somebody into their dream. It's a whole different conversation.
So what I hear, Jessie, is when I'm in a crowded room and I ask, how many of you would like to be sold something? Nobody wants to be sold on anything. Yet we're all looking for something. We all need something. That's what I'm hearing. And I, as a salesperson, I, as a business owner, I have something to offer. I have something to be of service for. And what you're saying is, by shifting what I do from selling to being of service, then the magic begins to happen. How did this start for you? How did your story come about where you were able to make that transition?
Well, I have a mentor, as we all, I think it's important in business to always have a coach or a mentor, somebody that's kind of able to see your blind spots, because the jar can't read the outside of the label, right? And so, I personally was coaching people, and we were doing a marketing strategy, and we needed to help them, sell their offer. And, people come from all walks of life. Some of them have experience and some of them had zero experience. And what they had was a dream. What they had was something that they did for themselves. Like, we had a lady who helped heal her hormones. She was told she could never have children, and she did it herself holistically. And now she has a beautiful daughter. She wants to teach other women how to do this and not buy the story that you can't have a child. And so she was terrified. In fact, she said that she vomited her way to being a millionaire, and so from that, I wanted to learn. Because no matter what, everything in life is a sell. You ever see a 5-year-old kid who knows the ice cream truck is coming, and they come up, and all of a sudden, this happened to my ex-husband, my daughter would be like, "Daddy, I love you." And literally she walks away with $2, and then the ice cream truck pulls up in front of the house, and he's just like, what happened? And it's just literally everything in life is a sell. Everything I'm wearing right now, I was sold it. You know what I mean? So we got to get out of the sales thing being a bad thing. It's us offering a service. I need a shirt. I go buy the shirt because that's what I want. It's what I need. So when you look at what you guys do, it's a service that you're providing to a fellow human being that needs this thing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in business. I don't care if it's making widgets for the freaking airplane. At least it's getting me safe. You know what I mean? There's purpose in it. we start really recognizing that what we're doing is serving someone, it's a whole different mentality. So I started to partner with a mentor that I believe is just phenomenal. I've never heard anybody lead with heart when it comes to sales. And so it triggered me, I was saying, I need to hear about this, I need to understand what this is, because I believe it's a paradigm shift when it comes to the sales conversation. It's all about service. People are not transactions. Nobody wants to be sold to. Nobody's a number. And when they feel that, it's like commission breath. It's like I'm showing up to get from you versus what I can give to you. So for me, it was really like I wanted to crack that code, because I knew that if I was going to help business owners, I needed to help them get out of the mindset. In order to do that, I had to get out of mine.
Yeah. And for most of my life, I've been looking for the strategies, right? In some degree, I operate from and I think most people operate from, okay, look, Jesse, I'm a good human being. All right. I always come from my heart. Right. And yet when it comes to growing the business, then I'm looking for strategies. Tell me the strategies. I don't want to lead with my heart. I want to lead with specific methods, right? And strategies to be able to become a more influencer or a better influencer. And then yet when I was working with you, before we got to the strategies, you continually deprogram myself or reprogram myself to truly connect with the purpose of my business.
Yes.
There was no talk of strategy until I was clear that what I was providing was a purpose. It was serving. And only until then we talked about the strategies, right? And so one of the things that once we got to the strategies part, one of the things that just turned my business around was to understand the pain that my clients are dealing with, to truly understand it, not use it as a manipulation strategy, but actually understand it. Could you share a little bit more about that, how you transform my life in doing that?
Well, it's like I was telling a lady, you have to be mindful of the judge in your head. Nothing can happen until you own the belief first, right? So if I give you a strategy about selling, but you still have a mindset that selling is that slimy thing you don't want to do, we're not going to get anywhere. So there's no purpose in me showing you a strategy when your mindset is believing that you're hurting someone, or that, you're having to cause pain or whatever. And so I had this lady who, I tell people, when you have someone that's coming to your phone, first of all, give thanks. God graced that human being on your calendar for a reason. You put out a notice that said, I'm here to help with this thing. And then this person showed up on your calendar. That's a gift. I used to say, these are not enrollment calls. They are opportunity to serve calls, right? So now this human being is on there, and this lady, I say, find out about your person, Google them, most of them have Facebook, not always, but find them on Facebook, check them out. What can you love about them? And there's always something to love, it's like, oh my gosh, looks like she's married. Oh, look, she's got 3 little kids. How awesome. Oh, I know how tough it is being a mom. And, just whatever, just connect with her. But what this lady did is she looked at the lady on Facebook, and she says, oh, wow, she's a soccer mom. She's not going to be able to afford me. I'll just do the call as practice. So now when she said that to me, as an example, I said, you know what, with all due respect, like, screw you. And she said, what? And I said, if I was that woman and you had a solution, she helped special needs kids. I said, and you had a solution for my child, you have no idea what mountains I will move to afford if I believe that you can serve my child. So don't judge me because I'm a soccer mom. You know what I mean? And she was like, oh my God, like she was coming in with these preconceived notions based on what she would see. And so we have to check the mindset. The mindset is first with everything. And again, if they're on your phone, it's because you said, I'm here to help. And they're saying, I need your help. Now they might come to the phone, softening it. Well, it's not that bad. And, I think I bought this new book and that'll get me there. And what you want to understand in that moment, that is their fear showing up. That voice inside that booked the call said, I can't do this anymore. I need help with this. This is driving me crazy, or it's intolerable. But what shows up to the call is all their fear. And it's up to you, if you have a solid mindset, to recognize that and be a stand for them. People buy on emotion, they justify with logic. So if you cannot get them to the emotional consequences of where they're living, they're not going to buy, because they're going to talk themselves out of it. It's just the human condition. That's why I love showing up in heart and in service, because I can connect to, I mean, I just had a call with someone and I'm listening to him and I'm like, oh my God, I can help this guy. You know, if you really see yourselves, to exaggerate it a little bit, you have the cure for cancer. You got it. You figured it out. You have it in a bottle, and you put the message out there and somebody shows up on your phone. And now they tell you, you know what, the chemo is not that bad. I'm actually getting better at the chemo and I didn't lose that much hair and it's really okay. And they're telling you it's okay. Are you going to buy that? Or are you going to be a stand for knowing that they're just scared and that they need to really see that the consequences of them not choosing to serve themselves may kill them? So all of that to me is bold love, right? I have to be bold enough to bring them to the truth of what's not working. Because love isn't always peaches and rainbows. Love is sometimes telling the hard truth. And I am going to put my mindset aside and I'm going to show up in service and love them to the truth so that they don't have to live that way anymore. And whatever you do, whatever it is your service is, I know I have the solution. I'm going to be a stand and I'm going to fight for them all the way.
Wow. Wow, this is so beautiful, Jessie. And this reminds me, and this is something I want to share real quick. And before I share a true testimonial from my own performance, and I'm going to include Sorel in this. If you have any questions, go ahead and write them down so I can give you, so you can get a little bit of Jessie's love and peace and service to you. So this is a true testimonial. Last year, many of you know that I was the co-creator and co-founder of the Latin American Conference for Transformation, and it was done. And it was the due date was January 22nd, and by December 4th, 5th, I only had about 30 or 40 registrations. But this is a six-figure kind of event that needs that kind of a sponsorship, right? And so I am doomed. I am screwed. I am like stressed out about it. And so I give a call to Sorel, and Sorel, the Hispanic community is not buying crap. They don't care about transformation. You know, we're bringing the best people in the planet and they're not buying, and screw them. And Sorel says, you know, I really hear a complaint here. No, not creativity. I don't know, you're like, there's a smoke screen here, Sorel says, you know, alluding to something like that. You know, what are you avoiding? What are you not taking responsibility? So I'm not happy with Sorel at all, because he's telling me to take responsibility for things, but I get it. So I go to Jessie and I say, okay, Jessie, I need help. I'm really behind on the numbers. I think this has become a real nightmare for us. What are you dealing with? I want to tell you what I'm dealing with. And Jessie says, okay, tell me what you're dealing with. And I said, you know, this community is not buying anything. And she says, this is not true. Your community buys a lot. It's actually probably the 7th largest economy in the world. You're not enrolling them. You're not telling them what they're tolerating. A version of what you just said. You're okay. They're saying chemo is fine. And you're saying, oh, okay. You've got to get in there with your copy, and you've got to open up what they're already tolerating. And if you do that, they're going to buy. And so between Sorel's coaching of, you know, between Sorel's coaches saying, take responsibility, and Jessie's coaching, open up the wound, if you will. They're tolerating something. Then we went to work with the team and completely transformed the copy for our ads and our landing pages and everything. And we had over 400 people in the conference. But this happened in 4 weeks or something. There was not much buying in Christmas, obviously. So this happens in a real 3-week kind of deadline kind of thing, a window of opportunity. And it really became from what you're saying, Jessie. So I wanted to add that testimonial to the impact that you have in my life, and obviously you, Sorel. Sorel, anything you want to add here before we open it up for questions or comments?
Were you asking me?
Sorel or you, Jessie?
Yeah, I do want to add one little thing in there, if you don't mind, Sorel.
Please, Jessie.
The other piece of that with you, Giovanni, is that when we start to think people or my people, or because I get that a lot, like when people come and they're like, well, no, my audience is different. You don't understand. That's the biggest thing, you know, no, they're blah, 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 right? The way I see, it doesn't matter what they're coming to you for. Okay. I see a human spirit. I see a human being. And no matter where they are, I believe in the human, the soul inside that needs help, regardless of culture, regardless of background. I'm going to believe in the highest part of them, that they will do whatever it takes to find the money to invest in themselves. So I will be a stance. So when you say like, oh, these people aren't buying, I'm like, you know what? There are people out there that spend $5,000 on a Gucci purse. What? You know, like, I don't know that I'll ever get to that level, but there is. So I'm going to believe that about them. I'm going to believe that they're going to move mountains. I'm going to believe that soccer mom will lift the Volkswagen off a child, because that heart will have you do the impossible and the unmentionable. That's why we want to get them emotionally connected. And one more thing I want to add when it comes to opening up the wound, please, please, please hear me. You are not causing a wound. You are shining light on the wound that is already there. Okay. Because sometimes people feel like, oh, well, I don't want to poke the wound. That's terrible. They're already in pain. You're not. You need to love them enough to shine light on the wound that's already present, that they keep band-aiding, but it's bleeding out. And you need to love them enough to bring them to the truth of that they've been sugarcoating. So please know you're not hurting them at all. You're loving them to the truth.
Oh, love. I love it, Jessie. Can't get enough of Jessie, I swear. Sorel, go ahead.
Well, you know, when Jessie says what Jessie says, I have no choice but to say ditto, but I'll add just a little. What I'm getting from what you're creating, Jessie and Gio, is that I don't ever have to sell anything another day of my life. And that's the invitation I hear you extending, Jessie. Do not sell another day of your life ever again. Be on a mission to help other human beings get what they want, whatever that is. And if you don't have it, maybe a partner of yours has it. I am on a mission so that you get what you want. I am not selling a darn thing.
That's so great. I so love that you said that. And it is all about purpose. It is about us uniting in service and changing the world. You know, I use that language on purpose. It feels grandiose to people, but my personal story is knowing that one act of kindness saved my life. We underestimate the power of who we are on those calls. Let's say somebody shows up and they didn't enroll with you. You still showed up and gave value, then you did your best. Get the win from it. God might have sent you that person because they wanted them to not enroll because you needed to build the muscle of what to do next time. Or it might be that they're meant to stay stuck because it's going to help awaken their spouse or their child. We don't know, but we write a story that it's our fault. If you show up, like Sorel's saying, in service, on a mission to serve with whatever it is you have, then you show up that way every single time. You have won every call. Because that one call and what you might have said may have shifted them, even if they didn't enroll. And you have to believe that. And if you show up that way, you will give that value.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my God, Jessie and Gio, I just got something else. Not only am I never selling in my life, and if what I'm doing in terms of being on a mission is what I call selling, guess what? I am always selling, because that attitude we're creating right now isn't something that I'll reserve solely for my quote unquote clients or prospects. I am that way with everyone in my life. I am here for that for you.
So great, Sorel.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jessie. Thank you, Sorel. Let's open it up for questions or comments. Shiva, go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. This has been such an amazing discussion. Absolutely gorgeous. So I just want to make this comment. It's because it's like I love just the experience of like the femininity, like you ooze with so much femininity, and like you're really grounded and comfortable inside of selling. And so I bring that up to say is that, for me, a lot of times when I see people selling, it occurs as like hard and masculine, got to be out there. And I'm like, I'm like not that kind of person. And it feels daunting to me. So I really appreciate this conversation, especially when, you talk about serving, and you said something about like, oh, like you're shining a light,
Your spotlight.
shine a light on the wound. You totally turned around my mind around that, because I've been one of those people like, oh, it just seems so mean, and one of the reasons is, and this is what I want to ask you about, how do you make the distinguish between shining the light on the wound to support them to get that Band-Aid off, and what I've seen sometimes is like, there's so many lists and you're dealing with this and you're dealing with this and you're dealing with this, to where sometimes some copy, like the attempt to shine a light on my wound, it feels overbearing and mean. So how do you find that like balance?
That's the part about loving them, and that's the bold love, right? So if someone is in the ditch and you see them and you feel bad because they're in the ditch, don't let your feeling bad for them have you get in the ditch with them, right? If you're going to help them, you have to stay outside of the ditch and give them a helping hand. And so with that, because people, they have to feel the emotional consequences or they won't invest in themselves. They just won't. A lot of people that are in suffering, they put themselves last, especially women. It's like, I got to take care of everybody and, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. And they don't realize if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. That saying's not for nothing. Right. And so, but it's hard for them to put themselves first. So I know I don't see it as hurting them. I see it, I say in that part of the call, you got to let them know that you get them. I get you. I see you. And I also want to take you where you're headed, because I'm the expert. And I know that if you don't fix this, this is where you're going. If you don't resolve this thing, you're going to be passionless. You're going to be, you're going to be going through the motions of intimacy. You're not going to be present, that kind of stuff. And so they don't know what they don't know, but what they know right now is that they're suffering, and I need to be shining a light on there because I love them enough to do so. So everything is wrapped around love. From my perspective, it's just, if somebody's coming to me and suffering, love is also being bold enough to tell the truth. And I don't see it any other way. I'm not, like, I had a lady who goes, I feel like I'm twisting the knife. And I'm like, okay, well, with that mindset, no wonder you pull back, right? So you do it with proper frames, because trust me, there is a strategy. And the strategy is always framing. May I ask? Please know I'm not judging, but I just need to know what you said to me right now. Has that started to affect your relationship with your spouse yet? And you're tender, you soften, you put a compassion frame in front of it, because you're going to ask a tough question. So there is strategy, but got to deal with the mindset first. Does that help?
Absolutely, because I'm a lover and sweet as pie, and when I can envision doing what you just said, I'm like, oh, because even hearing you, it made me go. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Bold love. I love it. Maybe we have time for one more question. Anybody wants to chime in? How do you say that, Sorel? If anyone wants to do one more question.
Chime in.
Time in? What is it?
Chime in.
Tara just went off mute. There she goes.
Thank you, Andrea. Go ahead,
It's not
Tara.
charity, but I just have to tell you that I will give you credit, but from here on out, I will never, ever forget the term commission breath. I mean, I see it. I coach against it. I flipping adore you for bringing that into my life and everything you said. I don't have a question. I am just loving everything, the way that you frame sales and that it is service and comes from the heart. And it's easy to say, and it takes a lot of intention and practice to do it. And you seem to be a master. So thank you. This is a gift to me this morning.
Oh, thank you very much. It's my honor. Thank you so much. Yeah, it becomes fun. Again, if you see them as opportunities to serve, it's like, ooh, who's on my calendar today? Who do I get to show up for? You know, and do that magic minute before you pick up the phone. Just bring them into your heart and breathe them in there and just give thanks that they're on your phone. You're about to connect with a fellow human being and serve them to enroll into their dream with you or walk away better.
Walk away better.
Thank you.
I love it. Real quick as we wrap up, Tara, what does commission breath means? I don't want to leave with, I don't know what that means. What does commission breath means?
Commission breath means that you're showing up to the call with what you can get versus what you can give. Commission breath is about you getting the sale versus you serving the client. So all about your commission. It's not about serving.
Oh, commission. Oh, got it. Okay. I got it. Thank you. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Tara.
You got it.
Well, unfortunately, these things go so fast, so fast. Sorrel, any last words?
No, Gio, let's wrap it up on this high note.
Let's wrap it up. Jessie, what are your last words for today?
You know, guys, I think it's a paradigm shift, not only in the sales conversation, but in our world right now. People are running scared. They're uncertain. They don't know what to do. As people that have a service to provide, it's up to us to show up in love. Let's get rid of the mind trash that stops you from knowing that you're showing up in service of a fellow human being. If you have something to offer, remember who you are and why you did this, and show up in service and love them. No matter what, show up and serve them, and they will walk away better. You will feel better, and you'll start enrolling more. It's just the way it is, because wealth follows service. You show up in service, you'll be wealthy beyond your means. And make sure you partner with someone, a coach, someone that will guide you through this process, because we got to get rid of a lot of old sales junk that's in there. If you've been doing sales for a long time, there's a lot of things to unlearn.
There's a lot of things to unlearn for sure. Jessie, do you mind putting in the chat a way to contact you so that people get a chance to contact you and maybe get your services as well? In the meantime, and we'll put it on Facebook, as we wrap up, remember the 7 things to grow your wealth and grow your business and have a sexy skin and a sexy body and emotional intelligence. And the first one is love. Love always. Stress less. It's only one life, really. This is all there is. Might as well take it easy. Stress less. Eat more. Plant-based. Get closer to the trees. Hug the trees. Eat the trees. Laugh out loud as you can. Stretch the cheeks. It helps with the wrinkles. Look at Sorrel. He doesn't have any wrinkles, and he's just always laughing. He's always laughing. Sleep more. At least 7 hours. I say 6. Sorrel says 8. 7 hours. Sleep more. Always give what you got. Pay yourself first and then give everything away. Give your jealousy away. Give your everything away. Give, and then finally move every day. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, every day. Move. Thank you for being here. I love you. Sorrel loves you more. We'll see you Monday with Money Matters. Thank you, Jessie, for being here. Hold on, Jessie, for a second before you go. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Thank
Jessie.
you.
Thank you, Jessie. Bye-bye,
Happy
family.
Monday.